This film, Hurlements, Faveur de Sade, is the unrealized version. There is a version without image, which is available, and which Guy Debord did make, produce, and realize. This is a text, that it only exists as a text, and up until 2007 it was only a text in French which had never been translated. Justin Kako translated the text and I helped him with it, so I worked closely with it and think that it's an interesting piece just textually. The text is broken up with two columns. One column says soundtrack, and the other column says images. And I'll be reading both the soundtrack and the images. You'll know that I'm reading images because my hand will be like this. There are also words in capitals which are written in the images. Those words in capitals were meant to be white on a black screen. You'll know that what I'm reading is an image, which is text on a screen, because my hand will be like this. Okay? The term encounters uniformly designates all images whose eroticism will be moderated only by the existence, scandalous and hardly believable, of a police force. Parade of Indian Army troops in the 19th century. There have been people made to forget this story from its outset, and the fair weather that was more lost than as if within a labyrinth. Black screen. Close-up of Debord. Black screen. Thought that the night would pass entirely in her mouth, but he was sick with the impossibility of being understood, and haphazardly, from the encounters and ruptures, he found little by little a metaphysics of refusal. Close-up of a girl licking ice cream. Ascending panoramic shot of the Tour Saint-Jacques repeated several times. What has he become?
Flambe, flambe, Saharkadnak, Torabs, Orabs, Eforgem, Plant, Ekap, Flambe, flambe, Folombe.
Views of a cruiser from the Battle of Tsushima. Arthur Craven in the waters of the deep. Spoken by an African American. Encounters. His trace was lost not far from there in the Gulf of Mexico, where he set sail by night on a flimsy little boat. Parade of Indian Army troops.
Our history is noble and tragic, like a tyrant's glaring mask. No hazard nor magical drama, no trivial detail makes pathos of our love. Opium possessed De Quincey, chased poison drunk to Anne. He dreamed his life away, on since all must pass. I'll frequently turn back. Memories are hunting horns, whose sound dies out along with the wind.
Encounters. Lord Emmanuel awaits the sidereal hour when his head will go away. Riot scenes. A science of situations needs to be developed, which will borrow elements from psychology, from statistics, from urbanism, and from ethics. These elements must work towards an absolutely new objective, a conscious creation of situations. Encounters. I do not like the cinema, but an insurrection which is promised to me each morning when again I see Violette Nozière or the monument erected to the memory of Serge Bernat. A little 12-year-old girl smiles, walking by, and descends into the metro. Different shots of Notre Dame. Black screen. Close-up of Debord. A sitting girl, her face down on a table, with her hair spread out before her. Remembered that bar where he waited for the half-century to change, while thinking about everything that was going to cease once more and... Black screen. Close-up of eyes. Black screen. Always attached to the hour, to the final seconds, up until midnight. Boxing match. Parachutes jumping. So he went out into the cold street, and the sirens began to howl. Film brushed until the complete destruction of the image. SOEMPTYHOWL. Face of a sleeping girl. He kept finding her, burned into his memory by the dazzle of all the sodium fireworks hitting water. Black screen. Close-up of Debord. Understood that nothing would remain of these acts in a town which turns with the earth, and the earth turns in her galaxy, which is a considerably small part of a tiny island fleeing from us infinitely. Black screen. Boxing match. HANDTOHANDLOST. He was taking a walk and black screen. A 3/4 American shot of Debord taking a drink. Black screen. Views of several smokestacks. More desperate than... Film brush. Telescopic images of the nocturnal sky. The first marvel is to show up in front of her without knowing how to speak to her, feeling her mouth and her breasts. The imprisoned hands move no faster than race horses filmed in slow motion. In all innocence, the ropes become water and we roll together towards the day. The emphasized phrases will be spoken by a girl in a Bulgarian accent. Encounters in slow motion. I believe that we will never see each other again. Near a kiss, the streetlights of winter will go out. In this moment, in Tahiti, it is dawn. Paris was very pleasant thanks to the transportation strike. Jack the Ripper was never caught. It's funny, the telephone. What a challenge, as Madame de Ségur said. I will tell you some stories from my country which are very scary, but to scare you they must be told at night. Ivich, my dear, Chinatowns are unfortunately less numerous than you thought. You are 15 years old. Such gaudy colors will one day no longer be worn. I already know you. Sol and other nebulas. The virgin forest is less virgin than you. Guy, I am so cold. Gun crazy, you remember. That's that. No one was good enough for us. What will it mean later? Boulevard, Bonne Nouvelle, incest, and the schoolgirl. Riot scenes. Riot scenes. Riot scenes. Anyway, hail on the glass banners. We won't forget that planet. A world of screams has been lost. Isu, close up, smiling for the audience. A world of screams has been lost. A world of screams has been lost. A world of screams has been lost. Black screen. Close-up of Debord. Black screen. Riot scenes. Was thinking about a few lines in a newspaper from 1950. Encounters. A young radio star throws herself into the Isère, Grenoble. Little Madeleine Rainery, 12 and a half years old, who under the name Pirouette starred on the Alps Grenoble radio show Beautiful Thursdays, threw herself into the Isère Friday afternoon after having placed her schooling on the back of the river. Bodies of young men killed in the streets of Athens. Varaline. Varadaline. Sian, Marial, Malivolan. And the youth will decompose a little more. My little sister, we are not a pretty sight. The Isère and the misery flow on. We are powerless. Close-up of Mark O. The uprising of the youth. Interior of the Mabillon with its habitual clientele. Reflections on sexual relations in France towards the end of the Christian era. Almost all girls under 15 are off limits to us. Boxing match. Most perversions are frowned upon by the general public. The Parisian police force is 30 truncheon strong. There are still a lot of people who don't laugh or cry out at the word morality. Christian is in prison. Order reigns, but does not govern. Exterior views of the Musée de Cluny. Three-dimensional psychology, or the architectural complex defined as means of knowledge. Riot scenes. Le chien andalou has locked itself in the houses of sleep like a strangled Argonaut. So much indulgences and the victory of Kosovo, secret wounds. Marines make war in a corner of the night, and bottled ships are for you who had loved them. You spilled yourself into the beach as if into hands more loving than the rain, the wind, and the thunder which are put beneath your dress each night. Life is lovely in Cannes in the summer. Rape, which is forbidden, becomes banal in our memories. When we were on the Chattanooga, film brushed. Yes, of course, and those faces choked in sand, which were the explosions of desire, like ink on a wall, which were from lunatic stars. Let the gin, the rum, and the brandy go down, like the Grand Armada. So much for the funeral eulogy. but all those people were vulgar. Disorder for disorder's sake. Boxing match. The torture of caress starts in you with her, and weakness denies itself and increases. Film brushed. The vertical falling empties out a Dynadian's vessel, a vessel of gel and lips. The carpet turns over in another temporal dimension, stains itself. Parachutist jumping, like a sugar cube melting. Music limits the red and the green of traffic signals. The night is yours. Triumphal music expands itself. Encounters. He is sprawled out mid-stroke on a scalding stream, a sea of oil. Already it is only a matter of hair. I really never really liked vodka, nor secrets. Parachutist jumping. Little Madeleine Rainery, 12 and a half years old, who under the name Pirouette starred on the Alt Grenoble radio show Beautiful Thursdays, threw herself into the Isère. Mademoiselle Rainery, in the European quarter, you still have your awestruck face and that body, the best of the promised lands. Street sign of the Rue de Lisbonne. Advance of French infantry in Indochina. The dialogues repeat definitive truths like neon lights. I love you. It must be terrible to die. Until next time, you drink far too much. What our childhood loves. I don't understand you. I knew in another era, I very much regretted it. Do you want an orange? The beautiful splitting of volcanic islands. In the past, I have nothing more to say to you. Telescopic images of the nocturnal sky. After all the untimely responses and the youth getting old, night falls again from on high. Riot scenes. What do you want? Stop, cats, gunks, quacks, what do you want? Film brushed. For the rest of the film, succession of absolutely ordinary images, beyond all intention of humor, of montage, or of provocation. In regards to these memories, I have destroyed the cinema because it was easier than killing pedestrians. Face of a girl masked by her hair. Poetic worlds close off and forget themselves. Place Saint-Germain-des-Prés, deserted. On the Place Gabriel Pomeran, fog conceals the rendezvous which turned to suicide. Encounters. We live as lost children, our adventures incomplete, our adventures immeasurably small. Guy Ernest Debord leaves the escapade and goes down the Rue Dauphine. Each day, continental drift pushes such a lovely girl further away from Gilles de Rais. You know, none of this really matters.